social media, so you will want to take some notes on the topic. He started JAZ Design Company in 1999 and now employs his father Terry and his wife Adrian, who are part owners of the company, and also two of his cousins, Nigel and Marissa. He is passionate about building his business and also spending time with his family and his friends. When he isn't working, he enjoys telemark skiing in the winter and with his son at Ski Roundtop and Stowe, Vermont. And in the summer, spending time on lake wake surfing and wakeboarding. This is information I'm not familiar with. Wakeboarding with his family and friends. One of his favorite books is The E-Myth Principle by Michael Gerber, and he's actually going through an E-Myth mastery program with his business coach currently. Let's welcome Jason of JAZ Design.
All right, thank you. So today, what I want to cover is primarily what we do in JAZ Design Company and some of what we don't do. What we do is, obviously, you hear me say every week, is website development and internet marketing, including search engine optimization and social media management. So I'm going to go over a little bit of each one of those topics as long as I have here. I think it's about 10 minutes, but if I don't get to all of the social media tips at the end, I do have a handout for you. We do website development, but we don't do computer repair like Matt Blair does. We don't do network support like Donnie does. I have no interest in ever doing either one of those things. Even though I know how to fix computers, please don't call me. We do website development, and we primarily work in WordPress as a website development platform and a content management system because it's an open source content management system, and it allows us the ability to provide high-end websites for very affordable prices. And it has a huge network of developers that are constantly working to create plugins and things like that that we can use to make the websites really robust. And so for the majority of our projects, that's what we're using. Our process goes something like this. We will talk to the client and determine what their needs are. And then we will put together a contract, including a time frame. We've evolved this over the last year in terms of a time frame that both we have to stick to and the client has to stick to. And it's just evolved that way because it makes a lot of sense. We don't want a project to run a year. You know, we want it to maybe be a month or two at the most. So we'll come up with some design concepts, and another thing we've incorporated recently is having a lot of different design concepts that are available to our clients to review, and sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, so we will actually narrow those down to about 5 or so concepts to choose from, and then after the concept's chosen, we can have 3 sets of revisions to that concept. So it's going to be something the client is really, really happy with. After that happens, we will go ahead and build out the design and then enter the content. If we have to create the content, you know, it does add on to the cost a little bit, but typically that's provided by a client, and then we launch the website. Some current projects we're working on is Sean's Landscaping in Dillsburg, Wyatt Woodworking, who used to be a member here, in Red Line, and Studio 7 Online, who they're a hairstyle day spa, essentially. So those are types of clients that we can help. Search engine optimization. After we create the website, and this is it's an awesome website. It's out there for everybody to find, but the problem is people usually can't find it right away. So the next thing we can help clients with is getting their website found on the search engines, and that's handled a number of different ways. The first thing we always recommend to clients that have existing websites is to make sure their local search profiles are up to date. Google has done a great thing. They've given almost every business out there a free web page on Google. The problem is most people don't know that they haven't, or they haven't updated it and the information's not correct. So we have a service that is very affordable that we will go out and do that for clients. The other search engine work that we do is an ongoing month-to-month service that is very important. Businesses should consider this as their annual advertising budget, or part of it anyway, because your website needs to be popular. The only way it's going to become popular is if there are links coming to it and content about the website out there. Every link coming to your website counts as a vote for your website according to Google. So what we do is we have about 26, 27 different techniques of creating content, creating links back to websites to get them on the first page of Google for terms that people are actually typing in to the search engine. So it's important to identify which terms those are. If you have a handful of terms that you think people might be typing in, but our research shows that actually it's these other terms, then we're able to show you exactly how many times those terms are typed into the search engines. We have tools to do that, and it's very valuable information when you're spending a significant amount of money every month to have a website optimized. So what we do is we put together a month-to-month contract, we identify those keywords, and then we'll go from there. And social media management. Primarily, we work in Facebook. It's one of the main platforms because it has the most users. It has over 900 million active Facebook users. People spend an average of about 3 to 7 hours a month on Facebook. And for a majority of businesses out there, it's where their clients are hanging out, where their customers are hanging out. And so this gives us an opportunity to interact with them. And so we provided a service that allows us to help companies manage their social media because most of the time businesses don't have the time or they don't know how to do it effectively. So we put together a strategy that allows us to do that, and we have a number of businesses right now taking advantage of that. LinkedIn is also very important, especially for you personally, to have a presence on that. I've put together a handout, like I said, that has some tips that you can use right away to go ahead and update your LinkedIn profile. One big thing to make sure to do is make sure your profile is updated. Make sure it's complete. They actually have a score. If you're on there on the right side, it'll tell you how it gives you a percentage of how complete your profile is. Follow the steps and update that. Very important to do. Write it down. Make it one of the things that you try to accomplish this week or next is on your to-do list, if you haven't done that. Twitter is also very effective. And the thing about Twitter is if you're not going to monitor your Twitter account, it's probably best not to even use it because it's a fast-moving type of an environment, but it is very valuable in the business world, and it does have a good ROI if it's used properly. Pinterest can also be used for business. Anybody on Pinterest? Raise your hand if you're. Okay, a few people, and it's fun. It can be a major time suck, but it can also be really good for business. Thanks, Don. And because you can link back to your website, you can highlight different unique photos. You can pin other people's posts, and it can work really well. So we have actually strategies in place to use that for business as well. All right, so I have about 3 minutes left, and I want to go through some good referrals that we're looking for. As I've said over the last few weeks, private medical practices that perform elective surgeries and procedures are really good because the thing is that the reason a number of people have asked me this, why do you want these types of businesses? Well, if they get one client that pays $60,000 for a procedure, that's a really good ROI for the service that we can provide to make sure that they're coming up high in the search engines. So engineering firms, it's a similar type of thing. Small, medium-sized engineering firms often have a poor internet presence, and we can help them with that. Small businesses, like I said, Sean's, the landscaping company, woodworking companies, hair salons. We've worked with CertaPro in here, Sparkle Wash, SF & Company for social media management, Carpets by Martin, Audio Professional Hearing are some of the examples of companies we've worked with even in here. Real estate professionals, we can help them with social media and also search engine optimization and car dealerships. We're helping Ray Ricky as well. So that is basically all I think I have time for. I wanted to leave a minute or two for questions. Does anyone have any for me? Yes?
What is the new search feature that Facebook just came out with? Do you know about that?
Yeah, I was reading about that. It's interesting. Well, Facebook's search feature is horrible right now. So this is it's great news because it'll allow posts to be searched and things like that. It sounds like it's going to be really robust. I'm excited to see actually what it does, because if you have ever searched Facebook, it's kind of like beating your head against the wall. But yeah, thanks for that question. It's a good question. Anyone else? All right, thank you.
I'm sorry. You said you use WordPress for your website building?
Yeah, that's the platform we choose to
How's
use.
that compared to like Joomla and
It's very similar, and they're both open source platforms, and they're very similar. But we have developers that like WordPress, and I like it because, like I said, it's open source. It's simple to use for the client. So. All right. Well, I hope it didn't bore you too much. Thanks a lot for your attention.